1 week in the books, the start of the second week, voluntary workouts over at the LSU football facility. Coach Moffit checking in just for a couple of minutes. I know a big group coming in. How are you this morning?
I'm great, Jordy. Bob, how's everybody doing?
I can hear the intensity in his voice. How was week one? Give me a synopsis of week one and looking forward to this week.
Yeah, week one was phenomenal. The effort, the attitude was great. Organization was good. And we're fired up for week two. We just finished the first group this morning, and things are going really, really, really well.
Yeah, Coach, so one thing that I think just outside looking in I was wondering about is with the more limited group size, 20 players, a little more spread out, not multiple guys kind of firing each other up on each weight rack. What was the energy and everything like under the new parameters y'all have laid out?
Yeah, it was really good, T-Bob. The smaller groups the bigger groups always have more energy, more enthusiasm. But I think it was a combination of the guys just excited about being back, being around their teammates, and finally having something to train with. I think made a huge difference for us. And it was surprisingly very well.
How about true freshmen?
True freshmen are doing good. It's limited right now, especially because a lot of these guys didn't have access to stuff.
Yeah.
Probably not nearly as motivated as the older guys, and in person didn't get to do a meeting to go over the alternative workout, alternative exercises. So we've got a ways to go with that group. Not bad, really good athletes. But we certainly got our work cut out for us as far as, getting them ready for training camp.
It's a different schedule and timetable for you and your crew. Are you confident that you have enough time to get this team into football shape?
Yeah, I believe so because they're running good now. They're running really good now. Everything's going well. Time is not the problem. It's just organization and making sure that everybody stays well. That's important, So it's just the organization and making sure that, you're where you're supposed to be, when you're supposed to be there, and you have everything that you need in order to get it done. And we're really just waiting on the NC2A and, to see what them and the SEC decide that we can do. So as soon as we're given the green light to do more stuff, we'll be able to do more stuff. But right now, we're just doing what we can. To make sure that we're all on the same page and it's getting done.
So it sounds like this summer, Coach, not diving right into something like the 110 test, maybe a bit more of a acclimation period.
Exactly.
So when do you think that kind of more rigid testing will begin?
Well, I don't know. Again, it's a timetable that we haven't been given. So what we did is we built these little tests in the first week. For instance, the first warm-up we did 20 sit-ups. And believe it or not, 20 sit-ups can be tough for somebody that sat on the couch all summer.
Son, if you're having problems with the 20 sit-ups, you are in trouble.
And so we've got a lot of stuff. Yes. So we've got a lot. See, I'm working right now.
I know it.
Schedules, man. So there's all types of little tests built in. So, for instance, using the velocity-based system we have PERTs. So we knew all of the sets and all of the reps and all the velocities that the guys were doing before we broke, okay? So we looked for common weights and common reps. Like, let's say I did a set of 5 in squats during the off-season at 240 pounds, and I did it at 0.85 meters per second. So when the guys came back, we wanted them to be able to take that same weight combination in a lightweight at 240 pounds and do it for 5 reps at the same velocity that they were doing it in March before we broke, and that will tell us if they squatted and where they are. So we did that. So we took all of our heart rates from all of the guys that have passed our conditioning test through the years while we had the technology, and we were able to track how much work that they were able to do, heart rate-wise, maximum, minimums, etc.
Wow.
And now we compare that to the running that we're doing now. So if my heart rate is higher doing less running than it did last year or the last 3 years that I passed my conditioning test, we know that they haven't been running. So we're using the technology that we have to our advantage to make sure that everyone's doing what they're supposed to do.
No hiding.
I mean, yeah, you
No
want to talk
hiding
about
anymore, huh?
Also, you want to talk about using the latest technology and data to drive improvement and stay relevant. That's why Coach Moffit is the best strength coach in the nation. Coach, I know you hesitate to name names, but I want something positive. Is there anybody that just came in and looked like they had been fully committed and is just kicking ass right now?
See, Bob, there's so many. There's just so many. Again, I would say if we were to run the conditioning test, we would have 80 to 85 guys pass it now. Yeah. If we were to run the conditioning test right now, we would have 80 to 85 guys pass it right now. So it would be like this group just had a bunch of, I just saw Austin Deck walk out of the Boudreaux box. If he took the conditioning test today, he would do better today than he's done the last 3 years he's been here.
Wow.
I mean, he came back in that good a shape. So it's really good. It's the other 15 to 20% that we have to worry about, because they're going to be the difference.
Is that a compliment to your culture that you guys have
now?
now?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. It's all culture.
Mm-hmm.
And they don't know any better. I mean, they're just that good at kids, and that becomes, that's part of the recruiting process, You recruit guys that are going to do what they're supposed to do, and they do it.
O stopped by here the last couple of weeks, and he's had very glowing remarks on Dare Rosenthal. He couldn't wait for you to get your hands on him. Physically, it seems like he's ready to be the left tackle. What have you seen in just a short time period?
Dare's doing great, man. He's doing really good. And again, they're all doing really good. The offensive line is going to be impressive. I really like the group of guys. I like the freshmen that we have at that position. We're going to be big, and I think we're going to be really athletic too.
Coach, so back in the day, it seemed like I could never decide which you dislike more, freshmen or the afternoon group. Now that it's a little more codified, what are your feelings on the afternoon group? Or how do you feel about those guys?
You talking about the freshmen?
Yeah. Well, okay. Yeah. What gets you more? What gets you a little more fired up? The true freshmen or or people who work out in the last group?
Oh, there is nobody in that last group, T-Bob. It's been a while. Trust me, it's been a while since anybody showed up to that last group.
Coach, get them right. We appreciate the time. I know you're busy. Thank you for this morning.
Thank you very much, guys. I appreciate it.
There he is,
sir.
Coach Tommy Moffit checking in this morning from strength and conditioning over at the LSU facility as the Tigers are getting into shape. Week 2 of the voluntary workouts.
How about that? A little O-line, a little unprompted O-line love from Coach Moffit, which is important because if we've talked about it, I mean, that is the position group of concern going into the year. And how about Deculus? Seeming like, and that happens your senior year, and especially with Deculus. I mean, he has so much experience at this point. What's he have, over 30 starts now, maybe? I mean, or like high 20s, something wild. And at a certain point, you're just so comfortable and so confident that, you start to push things to the new level. And who knows, maybe Deculus, somebody who you kind of taken for a known commodity, maybe he takes a bigger step than you're expecting this year.